In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Office 365 to complete your work. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to log into our email. So we can do that by going to portal.office.com, or we can also go to our Confederation College portal and link from there. So it might prompt you to log in, or because I've already been logged in today, it might log you in automatically. When we go to our Office portal homepage, it's going to bring us to Office 365. And what Office 365 is, it's basically a giant binder in the sky that houses all sorts of different applications that you can use, and it also saves your work for you. So in addition to the Outlook email function that we've already used, you also have Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint, Outlook as we've discussed, OneDrive, OneNote, SharePoint, and Teams. For today's video, we're going to mostly be using Microsoft Word Online. As a member of Confederation College, you get access to Office Suite entirely free, and you can use the Install Office button here to download it to your computer. But you don't even need to do that. You can simply use the Microsoft Word version online anytime you need to do your work. So how could this be useful? We could, for example, open up a blank Word document here. Many students are familiar with Google Drive. Microsoft Word Online and Office 365 functions really similarly. So here, I open up a blank document and I could do my work. Perhaps I have to write a paragraph, and maybe I'm writing about Thunder Bay. So maybe I'm writing about Thunder Bay is a great place to live. And that's what my paragraph is going to be about. I will, of course, double check my work to make sure there are no mistakes. I can name my document up here because it's just going to auto name it document, and eventually document 1, document 2, document 3, document 4 if you forget to name them. So I'm going to name it as Thunder Bay. And then as I continue to work, you'll see that the work is going to auto save. So the wonderful thing about using Microsoft Word Online is that you never really need to worry about losing your work. It will auto save continually as you make changes. You don't need to save it to your computer. You don't need to make sure that you've saved it at the end of editing. It just saves continually as you do your work. So let's say you finished writing for the day and you close this out. How do you find your work again in Office 365? So there's actually a number of different ways that you can do this. So in the Microsoft Word tab, you can actually see that it's already here. However, maybe you're not in the Microsoft Word tab. You can also go to OneDrive, and in OneDrive, you'll see a list of all of your most recent files. And if you don't see it there, you can click on recent because maybe you've been doing a lot of different work lately. So to find your work again, you'll either go to OneDrive or Microsoft Word, and then you can open it up. So here I am opening up my Thunder Bay paragraph where I can continue to do my work. Once I've come to the end of all of the work that I need to do, maybe I've reached the point where it's time to share my work with my teacher. Instead of emailing it to my teacher the way I might normally, we have this option to share. So there's this share button right here. You can click on that, and you're going to want to put your teacher's email address in. So sometimes you can just start typing their name and they might show up fairly quickly. Sometimes you need to put in their whole email address, which you should have from being in their classroom. You'll see that the default is that when you send this to somebody, when you share it with them, it's going to be editable. And when you're sharing with your teachers, you want it to be editable because they want to be able to give you feedback. If you were ever sharing with maybe a friend or a classmate who you're asking to help you proofread, you could also take away editing power by unclicking that Allow Editing box. But I'm going to leave it clicked here because I want to make sure that my teacher can see that. So once I've put in my teacher's email and I've made sure that it still says that my teacher can edit, I'm going to click send. And then it's just going to send a link to my teacher's email. That's it. I don't have to do anything else. I don't have to log into my email and send my teacher an email saying, hey, I sent you my work. Your teacher is going to get a link and they'll be able to live edit with you and make corrections right on your page. So that's one of the advantages of using Microsoft Word Online. Another way that you can use this is by going to your email. So I'm going to close these extra tabs and I'm going to open up Outlook. So perhaps my teacher has sent me some work. So I can see here that my teacher has sent me the pre-writing booklet and wants me to work on it. So like in our previous tutorial, we downloaded it to our computer and we started working on it, and that's fine, you can do that. However, if you want, you can click this little drop-down arrow here and click on Save to OneDrive. Another option though, if you click on it, it'll open up a preview for you, and here you also have the option to save it to OneDrive. And you'll see that it's saving and then save to OneDrive. I can close that, and then when I go to OneDrive, which I can do by clicking up on the waffle here or maybe choosing a new tab, I'm going to go over to OneDrive. And then in attachments, I'll see all of the attachments that I've saved from my teacher. So just most recently, Kimberly sent the pre-writing booklet, and that's what I've saved. When I click on it, it's going to default to open it up in Microsoft Word Online. And it won't be editable yet. You have to click on Edit Document. And you're going to have two choices. You can edit it directly here online, which tends to be faster, or you can open it up in the desktop app, which won't be quite as fast, but does allow you to do a lot more things. So for the purposes of this video, showing you how you could just do everything online, we're going to edit it right online. So it's going to prompt you all the time to file conversion. You can read the message and click convert. And then it's going to ask you, do you want to look at it or do you want to edit it? Well, you want to edit it because it's time to do your work. So the page will reload, and now this is saved in your OneDrive and it's ready for you to edit. You'll read the work as you normally do, and when you find the place that it's time to start making some changes, you can write your answer directly in the booklet. You'll see here that mine started to auto number, and that will sometimes happen, so I'll just delete that number too. Like before, when I'm finished my work, I can click the share button, and I'm going to send it to my teacher. Now, I didn't mention before, but you have the option of adding a small message here. So I might say something like, can you check to see if I am doing this correctly? So that way, when your teacher receives the email link with this work, they'll also have a little message from you. Don't worry if your name's not on it. Your name is always attached to the links in the emails that you send. So once I'm done working on that, I can close it. And if we come back, actually, let's go back to OneDrive and see if we can find all of the work that we've just done today. So we've got the Thunder Bay paragraph that we've started. We can filter it if we're trying to find it by when we did it. So if I wanted to know what is the thing I wrote most recently, I could click on Modified, Newer to Older, and it will show me what I've done most recently. Of course, right now there's not very many files in here, so it's not difficult to find. Sometimes I'll want to double check in attachments, and that's where all of the work that my teacher has sent me is going to be. The pre-writing booklet that I've most recently downloaded and worked on, you can tell, is the one that I did just about a minute ago. So I could click on that if I wanted to open it up again and carry on working on it. So those are just a couple of different ways that you can use Office 365 and Microsoft Word Online to help you complete your work. If you have any questions about it, be sure to ask your teacher and they might be able to give you a little bit more help.